So what do I think about this game, the Sunkenland? I have been playing this game for the past 2 weeks. I have done literally everything possible in this game, in terms of like missions, in terms of like building stuff and everything, unlocking some blueprints, etc. I have done around 95% of the game. There are like last couple of stuff which is left, like the last couple of bases and stuff, which I won't be doing. This is I have done all the mission bases and stuff, so everything else I have done. So what do I think about this game? I really like this game. I think that this game has like lot of potential. Um, this is a really good survival game. This is some so this has some really good underwater aspects and some on land building stuff. Initially when I came into this game, I was thinking it in terms of like raft. I was thinking I'll be building sort of like a boat and going through this map and surviving, right? That's what I initially thought, but that is not the case. You actually have like a stationary base you set up on the starting island, and of course you can build your base however you want, but this is my base. And you get occasional base raids depending on the difficulty that you set. For me, I think I don't think I can check these server console. No, yeah, I can't check the settings right now, but I have set it to hard. Enemy base as hard, even the frequency as hard, I think. Not frequency, now the number of enemies on the bases to be like hard. So there are a lot more enemies, and there are a lot more tougher enemies on these bases. So that's the settings which I have kept, and I have really enjoyed this game till now. It has been really fun. I have went through all the building stuff. I have built everything. I have built all of the upgrades. I have done everything. I have even gotten the best guns possible for my slots. This is the best pistol, this is the best sniper. I have gotten those, and it's been really fun. There are lots of like really good aspects to this game, and this has like lot of potential. This is still an early access game. They are still developing it. There are still some pretty frequent updates coming into this game, and lots of major updates too. And yeah, it's been really nice. But the one thing which I really like about this game is actually the fact that the progression in this game in terms of like survival aspect is really nice. Like you slowly go from being weak to like really strong. Like you absolutely blast through the enemy bases once you get your items equipped. So that feels really nice. In some games, even if you get like fully decked out, you can't like blast through enemies, right? You still have to play like in a cowardly manner, especially for survival games. But this is not the case. Once you get like really decked out guns, you don't have to worry too much. And all the healing stuff, you just go ham. You just kill everyone. That feels really nice. So that is nice. And also the other thing is, in this game, you literally get some of the most sophisticated blueprints possible. I never thought I will get like a marine fast boat. Like I never thought that. I never thought I will get like a large generator. I never thought I'll get something like what is that? Where is that helicopter? There is a helicopter, by the way. Yeah, this one. Like this. There is an actual helicopter that you can get, that you can build and go through. So you can go crazy. And the other best thing is the guns. Gun customization is through the roof. Like you can customize your gun with whichever, for example, receiver, whichever barrel, whichever sight, whichever magazine, etc. And you have like pistol, rifles, SMGs, and shotguns and snipers. 5 different types of guns. And all of these are set up. This is still in early access, remember, so they can constantly add stuff to this, which is really nice. They can constantly improve this, which is also nice. Once a system is set up, you can always expect things to get added and improved, right? Initially, building the system is what's difficult, and it's already there. So that thing is awesome. Apart from that, in terms of gameplay, survival aspects are good, but there are lots of stuff which can be improved, specifically in terms of like combat. There is very weird hitboxes. Sometimes when you think you should hit, you will not. Sometimes when you think you shouldn't hit, you will. And especially with guns, you need to lead the shots to where they are moving. If they are standing still, it's fine. if they are moving, you have to lead it by a little bit to where you think they'll be going to hit them, or else you will not hit them. That feels weird to me when you are using a gun. If you are using a crossbow, if you are using a bow, yes, it makes sense. But if you are using a gun and I click on their heads, I want it to hit. I want enemies to die. If I click on their heads, enemy die. That's it. That's all I care about. So leading the shots feels a little bit weird. But apart from that, I think enemy hitboxes needs a lot of work. Terrain optimization needs a lot of work. Um, Terrain collision, object collision, all of that needs a little bit more work, right? Um, Apart from that, there is building aspects are really cool. There is lot of building stuff that you can do, but I wish there was a little bit more customization in terms of whatever they already have. What I mean by that is, for example, if you look at stairs, you have wooden stairs, you have these half metal stairs, but you don't have reinforced stairs. You have all the other types of stairs, but you don't have reinforced stairs. Why not? Just have it in, like, whatever you already have here, have it even for the reinforced. I'm not asking for anything new, it's just whatever is already there. So stuff like that simple stuff can be added. And also similarly this beam, wooden pillar, I have it over here, metal column, then it's not over here. Something like that. Something like glass, it's fine. This is the only thing that's fine because it's a new type of building material. But in this default building materials, some of the stuff is missing, which I think can be added. There might be reason why they haven't included that. I'm not sure, but I feel like those can be included. And the next thing is there is I think they can add a little bit of automation to this game. What I mean by that is there is this electricity. You can switch on the lights and stuff whenever you want, which is attached to a generator. You can go to the generator, switch a generator on and off. Even if you don't turn it off, it's fine. It will constantly consume fuel if you are drawing electricity. If you are not drawing electricity, you will not consume fuel. That's awesome. So you don't have to constantly turn it off. If you know that you are not using electricity, you can just leave it turned on. It's totally fine because you won't consume fuel. So that's awesome. And apart from that, I think so you need to switch on these lights manually during nighttime. I wish there was some automation where as soon as so there is a different machine which triggers based on time or day-night cycle. So whenever there is night, I can automatically switch on these lights, something like that, so that it's a bit more well organized, I guess. Right now I go to those generators and I manually switch on this stuff, and these ones I manually come here and switch it off, switch it on, etc. Right? So those kinds of stuff. Apart from that, I think farming stuff needs a little bit of work. I think there is it's a cool concept for farming, but you use farming only for this alcohol, which is used to make Molotov, but you get so much Molotov just looting that you'll never do this. The next thing is mushroom bird soup, which is one of the best food items because it reduces hunger and thirst rate. When you are exploring, you can explore a lot further with less resources, right? Less of these. So that's nice. But you can't grow mushrooms. So you have to loot mushrooms. You can't grow it using farm. So that's out. This is all fish. So this is not farming. And over here, none of these are farming stuff. So over here, this is the only viable farming stuff that you have. But here, the issue is the strawberries. Whenever you farm a strawberry, you get strawberry seed. Cabbage, you get cabbage seeds, but you don't get lemon seeds. So you have to again loot that. So I stopped. So I never made this. And also this is not one of the best food items. This is an okay food item, right? So I never made this. This seafood platter and mushroom bird soup are some of the best food items. This increases your health, which is very good when you're taking out like enemy bases. This reduces hunger and thirst, which helps you explore a lot further. So these two are the best things. And this is very easy to farm. Crabs are everywhere. I have a bunch load of crabs. Roasted fish is very easy to farm. Scallops are very easy to farm. Mushroom bird soup, whenever I went to any island, I kept farming mushrooms so that I could make this. Roasted bird meat is also very easy using that bird trap. You get like 3 bird meat with like 1 bait, so that's easy. So in that sense, I felt like farming was, I never farmed. I did farming a little bit and I didn't feel a need to it. So I wish it could be improved a little bit to include everything. And maybe this is a bug that lemons don't drop the seeds. Maybe it's a bug. So maybe they can just fix that. So that's the issue with farming, I think. And apart from that, I felt like everything else was like really, really good. I don't think I have too many complaints in terms of like exploration and stuff. And also, yeah, this fish bait, you get this better fish bait, which is late game stuff. You don't need to put baits to catch fish automatically. This is a very simple part of automation in game, where initially you have to put bait to catch fish, then slowly you move to a different type of a net, where you don't put baits, where it's automatic, right? This is a very simple automation. Just simple things like this actually increases the fun in game, where things are automatically getting built or getting done without you doing anything. It feels nice when you reach this stage, right? Of course, you can make it tough to reach this stage, but still, reaching that stage feels nice. And the next thing is this, the best thing in the game, the most OP stuff in this game, which is the decomposer. You get so many combat knives late game, or even early game. You get this machete. Just break it down. You get 50% of resources, which means this machete gives me 15 iron ingots, and one combat knife gives me like, how much is that? How much did I get? 5 steel ingots. Like, I never farmed in this game. The only way that I farmed was go to base, loot everything, make sure you get a combat knife or 2, make sure you get machete, come back here, deconstruct it, get all the resources. That's how I had around 200 iron ingots, 200 copper ingots, around 50 steel ingots, something like that. Like, it's just insane. I feel like it should be nerfed a little bit, but I won't complain. For me, it was awesome till now, so that's nice. And apart from that, there is too many decorations. I will never complain. People who like building decorations, people who like decorating their base, there is no issue. I just left all the decorations behind. I just dropped it because I didn't have space in my inventory. But there is so much. Like, every single one of these is like decorations. You can do so many things. Even in my room, I have a bunch of decorations, all of this. But I don't usually come to this room because my OCD will not let me come here, because as soon as I come here, I'll look at this rug and I see that it's not flat. It's like crumpled. Why? Why is this crumpled? Anyway, but apart from that, it's there's a lot of a lot of decorations that you can do and build up your base, make it look really cool, make it look fun, etc. But one thing is, there are some stuff which I feel like can be improved in terms of upgrades. Like I mentioned, gun upgrades are some of the best in the game, best in the survival genre that I have seen. There is so much customization. At the same time, armor felt flat. I stopped upgrading armor after like tier 3 or something, and I never, tier 3 or, I stopped upgrading. You get these armor so early into the game. No, it was tier 4 because I needed steel, but still, I stopped it so early into the game. So I felt like something more can be done in armor. And one other thing about armor specifically is that there are a couple of armors which it doesn't make sense to make. You never want to build these. Which is, for example, over here, this is 225 armor, this is 225 armor. This takes steel, this does not. So why will you ever build this? I'm not sure. right? So stuff like that. I feel like some numbers need to be changed, or I don't know, something needs to be changed over here. So that is what you will never build this. You'll never build this armor. Similarly, this one, this needs steel ingots. Why? So this needs 4 steel ingots. This needs 5. So why will you ever build this? Unless, of course, you don't get this, right? You get the broken police vest, you won't get this. Then maybe you'll go to this. But apart from that, I don't think you'll ever build it. So stuff like that can be improved. Similarly with the axe that you get. This axe, I have been using it from tier 1 research or tier 2 research. I forgot how early it was. I researched it over here, I built it, and I have been using this to chop trees. Like, no. I think there needs to be a newer upgrade, a third upgrade or something like that. Similar with the spear. The underwater combat is only with the spear. I don't think there is anything else that you can use underwater. You can't use crossbows. You can't use guns. So the only thing that you can use is a spear. So I feel like there needs to be a spear upgrade if that is the case. Right? Maybe you can use machete. Maybe you can use combat knife. Yeah, probably, right? You can use those. But every single time I get a machete or combat knife, I just break it down. Look at this. This is one combat knife. And now I'll break the machete. So why will you ever hold it? Like, I don't think yeah. This is way too valuable. Just breaking it down is way too valuable. So I'll never use this. And also underwater combat is very minimal. You'll get some sharks. You'll get some hammerhead sharks. I found that somewhere over here, where there were like 2 blueprints over here, downtown, and somewhere over here I found the hammerhead sharks. So those were the only 2 things, underwater stuff, which are there for combat, and it was very easy. I just stabbed it twice and it died. So I never had any threat underwater. So that was fine. I think there can be some improvements over there, but it depends on how deep you want to go with underwater stuff. But apart from that, yes. And there is some building quirks that needs to be addressed to. Like when I was building this base, I found that you couldn't do certain stuff which normally you should. Just as an example, if I come here and see this chandeliers or anything like hanging lights, right? Ceiling lights. I can't put it to these roofs. I have to put it to a flat roof. So that's weird. You should be able to put this to a roof, normal roof. You can't. So over there, I wanted to put a chandelier. So I put a flat roof over there and a different type of roof over there. I was able to put it on flat roof, but not over there. I made that specifically to test it, and that was the case. So yeah, stuff like that. There are small quirks like that, which I think should be addressed, which I think they will. This is still in early access, like I mentioned, and there's a lot of stuff to improve, so they will be doing that. What else? Yes, the enemies, the enemy AI. Sometimes they are like 200 IQ enemies. Sometimes they are minus 200 IQ. Like it's really bad. Sometimes. Sometimes all of them just get clumped together. All I have to do is throw one Molotov, 10 of them die. Sometimes they are like in a matrix. They crouch when I shoot at them perfectly at their heads. They strafe perfectly when I try to shoot a crouched enemy. I don't know. It's weird. It's as if they are reading my moves sometimes. Sometimes they just stand still, and a melee guy will not even try to come hit me down the stairs. So I feel like some improvement can be done. And one thing which I found that, so I think this is an early access game where you are constantly developing, where this game is constantly being developed. This is just my hypothesis. I think they are slowly going through these missions and trying to build a better base for every single one of them. Radio Island is a nicely designed base as a first starter base that you go through. This is a huge island. a very good starting base where you get lots of resources, you can farm them, everything. So it's very well thought out. You get lots of starting resources. Then you go to skull base. This is also really cool base. This base is actually shaped like a skull, where you enter through you enter this base through a skull shaped door or something like that, right? So it was really cool. And also there were like lots of like mazes and stuff. There was even a boss over there, like a boss room where you had to go in. Once you go in, you can't come out easily the way you go in. Like it's completely closed out, so you have to fight the boss. So it was nice. That was a nicely designed base. Then Dreadwill. Dreadwill also had some boss, for example, a boss room, and it was the first, I think, base where there were like sentries and stuff. So that was like a cool addition to a base. But after that, I think all the other bases were pretty generic. There wasn't anything significantly different or any cool characteristics of this. Of course, there was something like for example, this was like a satellite. So this was an island where there were multiple satellite dishes and etc. But that doesn't really affect your combat, your gameplay. It's just a visual thing. For example, you having a base having sentries and stuff, it affects the way you approach the combat. A base having the first base that you encounter, which had a boss room, that differentiates how you encounter that base. But once I did Dreadwill, all the other stuff, in fact, these didn't even have boss bases, now that I remember. None of these has boss rooms. It's just generic enemies, kill so many enemies, and you are done. So what I assume is that they're constantly building these bases. They're constantly developing these bases, and right now these bases are placeholder. That's what I assume, right? So it's they will improve that for sure. I think so. That's what I assume. But that's one thing which I have about the enemy bases and stuff. And the next thing is, there are so many cases where there's like last 5 enemies remaining, a night cycle happens, enemies respawn, it becomes 10, 15, I have to do it all over again. Late game, it was not too much of an issue, although it was irritating because I had such better guns that all I had to do was find them. Killing them was easy, but early game, it was really, really tough. I had a crossbow, sometimes they had a gun, so I couldn't miss a shot. So if they started respawning, it means I need more crossbow bolts and stuff. So even though crossbow bolt is very easy to craft, all it takes is like scrap, still I felt like it was a bit of an issue dealing with respawning enemies so quickly. So I feel like if I am on a base trying to deal with it, I think at least for that time, do not respawn. If I die and go back, yeah, sure, respawn by that time, it's fine. But if I don't die and if I am on a base, please do not respawn enemies. That's one complaint I have. But apart from that, I think I really enjoyed this game. I have played this game for past 2 weeks and I'm enjoying it. I think that's the review of my game. This is a really cool game with a lot of cool prospects. If they can build really cool stuff from this, they can also have like a really cool story. They have some decent missions and story progress points with this, but still, there can be a lot that can be improved as a proper story stuff. And yeah, that's my review of the game. This is a really cool game, really cool survival game. This is still in early access. Check it out if you guys like it. There isn't too much to farm in this game as much as in other survival games. I will say that. As I mentioned, you can just break stuff down. Look at this. I got 15 iron ingots, just like that. Some rope, just like that. Just because I broke one machete. So if you do all of that, you never have to farm. That's how I got all my resources, and it's been good. The raids are a little bit annoying sometimes. If you feel like it, just disable the raids and you will have fun. That's what I did. I have right now raids disabled because it's just annoying. I don't want to deal with it when I'm at my base. I just want to sometimes just sit here, drink a cup of coffee and just look at my base that I built, right? Some people really like it. Some people build really, really cool bases. I have just built a generic base to suit my needs, but yes. Some people do that. So if you guys want to do that, you can do that. So yeah, with that, this is my review of a game. This is a really nice game with a lot of good prospect to improve, and I think they will improve in 1.0 release, or if there is like a really major updates to this game, I will come back, check it out. I will continue from here. If I am coming back before 1.0, I will continue this playthrough. I won't start a new playthrough, no way. And go through from there. I'll come check it out from this specific point, right? Yeah, with that, this is the end of my review. Thank you everyone. If you guys like this, please come watch me on Twitch. I usually stream every day from 6 p.m. CST. So yeah, see you guys.